The solar energy market has become increasingly saturated, leading to widespread misinformation and a lack of transparency. Welcome to the Harmon Solar Podcast, offering a straightforward, honest perspective on going solar. Each episode dives into key topics to help you better understand the industry. Our goal is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions about solar energy. While solar may not be the right fit for everyone, we believe everyone should take the time to explore it. Our mission is to increase your knowledge, not your bills.
Today's guest, Andy Hobeika from Hobeika Services, has been immersed in the family business since he was just 12 years old. He started in sheet metal fabrication, spent his high school summers working in the install department, and then went on to work full-time as a technician for 10 years. Now a top-performing comfort advisor at Hobeika, Andy has been setting sales records year after year. We're excited to dive into his journey, the lessons he's learned, and the keys behind his continued success.
Welcome to another edition of the Harmon Solar Podcast. I'm Rob Romano, VP Sales and Marketing at Harmon Solar. With me, my co-host, not my friend, but my co-host, Ben Walschlager. Ben?
Yeah, I'm all of a sudden not your friend anymore. That's
you're
cool.
Mr. Everything.
There it is.
There it is, Mr. Everything. Yeah, you lost friendship 2 shows ago.
Yeah, I miss having food at these podcasts, by the way. Can we start doing that again?
We are going to hire a chef.
Thank you.
I have talked to the owner about it.
Yeah. So if you are a chef.
Yeah, we are looking for a chef.
Okay, good.
Anyway, you don't need any more food. Today, what are we talking, Ben?
AC.
HVAC.
That's it. Yep.
HVAC.
It's a hot topic or cool topic here in Arizona, just because it makes up 90% of our bills. We live in a very hot climate. Our ACs sometime in the summer run 24/7. So we get these calls a lot with people like, what should I do with my AC? We're a solar company. I'm like, no, call an AC company.
What does HVAC stand for?
I have no idea, actually.
Well, maybe we can ask Andy.
Yeah, we got a special guest here today.
We do. We have a special guest. So with Hobeika Services, we have Andy Hobeika.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Welcome.
So HVAC,
Oh, here we go. Right to it.
heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
See, I knew that.
I'm sure I could have Googled it.
Put an S at the end. Heating,
I knew the
ventilation,
AC part.
air conditioning,
I knew the
solar.
AC part. The V, I was like, what could it be?
Ventilation, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So we brought HVAC guy, Andy, on. Why? Because it's like you just said, it's the biggest part of our bills, right?
Yeah. We get a lot of these calls during the summertime. People who call in, especially like new customers who have solar, and they say like, hey, I have solar. How, my bill is low, but how come it's not zero? Why is
We get
it
that a lot,
Why is it not zero? I'm like, well, you're running your AC a lot during the summertime. It still makes up your bill. It runs at night probably because it's still 110. Remember last summer we had these nights where it was like 110 degrees at night?
Remember 2 years ago?
And 2 years ago, it was like that as well. And guess what? Your solar system does not work at night. So
Yeah, it does. And it runs a lot because even though it's not 118 out, 104 at nighttime, the sun's not beating down your house, but it's still hot, and it's been hot all day, so it's kind of contracted on the home.
Right.
And when you're sleeping, you like it cold. I don't know about you, but I keep my bedroom at about 70, so it's going to be running all night long.
Cold
70.
Cold with the fan
Oh
on.
my gosh, dude.
So they actually say
He works for an HVAC company, I think.
Yes.
I follow a lot of health and wellness, nutritional people, and Gary Brecka said it's actually the healthiest for your body to sleep at 68 degrees.
68
Really?
Degrees. Yep.
I'm going to go home and adjust the thermostat right now.
I don't know if I can do that.
I think I'm at like 72 at night.
I'm at 74.
Most air conditioners, if they're not designed by me and myself, they probably won't run that low, being that hot outside. It probably won't get to 68 degrees.
Really?
Probably the lowest it'll ever get, especially when it's 115, 120 degrees outside. Probably the lowest it'll ever get in Arizona, a normal size home for a normal 2,500 square foot home, and they have a 5-ton on it. Probably the lowest it's going to get is about 75, 74. Because the heat load's just not there if it's a single stage basic system, and we can talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so for the guy that is like you that wants to have a 70-degree bedroom, to me, the instant thought about that is, wow, that's going to kill my bill. How am I going to do this?
Normally. So standard home, especially a new build, and basically like when you buy a house, they usually have a single stage system.
Right.
Okay. What a single stage system does is, let's say you have a 2,300 square foot home,
okay,
and it's a 5-ton system. Do you really need 5 tons of cooling the entire day, meaning the hottest part of the day and the coolest part of the day?
Probably not.
Probably not. So about 15 years ago, they came out with 2-stage. And what 2-stage does is it can run at 5, but they can ramp down to about 2.5 when you don't need the full 5 tons of cooling. So it starts saving money on electricity. It also has a blower motor, just like a pool pump, that's variable speed. So about 5 to 10 speeds on the blower motor for the airflow to ramp up and ramp down, pulling more humidity off of the coil. So air conditioners back in the day, take a step back, they were invented to remove humidity out of the home, not actually cool the home, okay? Cooling the home came later. Then, about 10 years ago, they came out with inverter technology for an air conditioning system. It's called a variable capacity air conditioner. I have 2 of them at home, my entire family. If you do it for a living and you try it, you'll never go back. Yeah. So variable speed systems work just like mini splits do, multi-speed systems. So my air conditioner at home, I have a couple of them, but they have 150 stages of cooling and heating. So the system can run at 5 tons of cooling, but also has the capability to run a quarter of 1 ton of cooling and anywhere in between, depending on what it needs to cool the house. Right. So your 5 ton could literally be using no electricity and still keeping the house freezing when you're sleeping and the load's not there. So with solar, the startup isn't 5 tons on, 5 tons off. It slowly ramps up and it only uses what it needs to cool the home at that time of the day. So it really helps out a solar system. Because people that say, I have solar, why isn't my electricity bill 0? Well, your air conditioner is 18 years old. And when it turns on, it's spiking your electricity. And actually, I looked it up this morning, Ben. I knew it was about 50, 60%. 40 to 60% of your electricity bill in Arizona is your air conditioner.
40 to 60%. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean,
that sounds about right.
Yeah. So I've heard the term 2-stage. I have a 2-stage. It's older though. It's a Train 2-stage unit. It's one of those big X21s, or I don't know what
the XRs. Yeah, they're good systems.
And everybody
they don't break.
Yeah, exactly. When it has little issues here and there, everybody keeps telling me, "Oh, you got to replace it because it's 12 years old." And I'm like, "Well, why? My house is freezing."
An XR 2-stage Train will last 18 to 20 years.
There you go.
I knew it.
Unless you have a compressor or an indoor coil leak, just keep going.
Okay.
Keep that train.
Well,
going.
2-stage compressor could be an $8,000 to $9,000 replacement to where replace the unit.
Okay.
And hey, your boy Andy will hook you up.
I got Andy.
You got a guy.
So this is good.
You got a guy.
Ben can't call me, but you can.
That's fine. He's very hard to get hold of.
So there are options out there for people now that they can do this stuff. I mean, because you're right. Most of the houses out here probably have 15, 18, 20-year-old units sitting on them.
Yeah.
Most. Yeah. The average life of an air conditioner in Arizona right now, especially all the new builds that happened like 20 years ago, is about that 15 to 20-year marker. And the bad part is most home inspectors don't even know how old the air conditioner is, and they don't know how to read the model number or serial number, even though with ChatGPT nowadays, it's so easy to find.
Yeah.
But, I'm not being, hey, they're old, but when you have a 40 to 65 to 70-year-old home inspector, they're just looking at it, well, it works. I have a 15-degree split, 20-degree split between the supply and return. We're good.
We're good.
New home buyer buys the home, 6 months in, it dies. Oh, we just got to fix it. Well, it's a 20-year-old system that runs an R22, and they're like, oh my God, I need a new system. Like, I don't have any money. And then it goes crazy.
Yeah.
So like we talk about with solar, we always tell people solar doesn't really require a whole lot of maintenance. I mean, it's just not a lot to it. Maybe cleaning panels if you want to.
Yeah.
It's more of monitoring, make sure it's still working.
Yeah.
If it's working, it's working. It's either is or isn't.
I've seen some videos recently of people cleaning them. Does that actually help the performance of the solar panels?
Well, funny you should say that. We just did a podcast with a cleaning company.
Yeah.
Because Ben's a skeptic. And
so am I.
Within reason.
Within reason. Ben's a skeptic. And I've kind of always been a skeptic. I'm just not as vocal as Ben is. And we had a guy come on. Actually, what we did is he went and he cleaned the panels on my house. And we kind of watched production. And actually, I'm still looking at production. It's actually gone up a little more.
That's good.
So it's now 9.5% increase in production.
Okay.
So we got an instant 8% increase in production. Now it's up to 9.5% since he's cleaned them. So there's value there.
My pushback on that is you're in the service industry.
We got to see the payoff on it.
Exactly.
How long?
You're in the service industry. We're in the service industry. We don't work for free. So when the company comes out and cleans their panels, they don't do it for free. So there's a cost to it. Yes, production does go up, but at what cost? So we've kind of come to the conclusion.
Maybe it's worth it if you clean it yourself.
Like once. Well,
that's another whole ball game. There's a lot of stuff.
Like we agreed, like once or twice a year on cleanings is fine.
And that's how they were too. They were very honest, and they were like, we'll do it once, maybe twice a year.
You guys ever think about wrapping it up into your maintenance program?
Yeah.
Well,
that's what we're doing.
We have it. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Okay.
So on that line, what about AC? Should you get your AC checked every month? Have to pay someone to come out, or is it once a year? Or like what?
Twice a year. So once before the summer, once before the winter. But on both of those checks, especially if you have a heat pump outside, meaning the air conditioner outside is for heating and cooling. Okay. A lot of people have natural gas for a furnace in the attic or in a closet. Then it's the air conditioner, the condenser outside only runs in cooling. And then you have gas furnace inside for heating.
Right.
But on a heat pump, a lot of new homes that don't have gas in the neighborhood, a lot of like the new track homes, the air conditioner outside is the heater and air conditioner. Inside is just an air handler that blows air, right?
Right.
So yes, so on those two services, especially if it's a heat pump, my techs, when we're all done, we pull the power and we clean that condenser coil, okay? All you have outside is a condenser, has a compressor in the middle of it, has a condenser coil that condenses the refrigerant, and then you have a fan motor on top that pulls the hot air off of the compressor and the coil. The cleaner that coil is, the more efficient that system is going to run. And cleaning that twice a year is good, but I tell homeowners, especially in the summertime, for the 4 to 5 months when it's hot, unplug the system, wait for it to turn off, take a hose, don't spray it with a hard sprayer and dent the coil and damage it. Just nice, easy breeze on the outside. Now, the proper way is to take off the fan and go from the inside, but on the outside, it's not going to hurt it, and it'll work that much more efficiently.
Okay.
I strongly recommend it once a month when it's hot.
Nice.
Let's backpedal real quick.
Sure,
We haven't talked about your company yet. So let's talk about how it's a Hobica Services.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about your company. Tell us what, where you are, where you service, who you are, where you service, how long you've been around, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So long story short, I'll do the whole story real short. Grandfather, came over from Lebanon, his family. He was actually born in Cuba on the way to the United States. They went to Phoenix because his dad that I never met, great grandfather. So Jedus, because we're Lebanese, it's Jedu and Siti, his grandpa and grandma. My Jedu's dad started a dry goods store in Phoenix, actually like 3rd and Jefferson. So you look at an old Phoenix map, you can see Hobica and Sons dry goods store next to the theater in downtown Phoenix. Pretty cool. But long story short, you got that, and then my grandfather went to the same area as grade school and high school. Got drafted into the war. Battle of the Bulge, Saving Private Ryan scene on the beach was there. Like took us saw that movie when we were little kids just to show us like, hey, this is war and this is why should be a proud American and all that fun stuff. So he took that, got out of World War II, was one of the only people in his unit that actually survived. Got out, went to Phoenix College and wanted to go to the electrical school because he wanted to be an electrician. The counselor said, hey, Paul, we're full of the electrical school, but I have this new upcoming field called refrigeration. It's going to be real popular, and you can learn a little bit of electrical in that. Worked for some companies, and then said in 1952, started his own company in his garage in Phoenix. My grandmother, my Siti, was his receptionist. And then the story is he had a big-ass family for, all the kids to create a workforce.
Wow.
That was in 1952, so 73 years later, 3 generations, still going strong.
73 years.
That's a cool story, though.
Holy moly.
And then top-rated, family company in Arizona. A couple of the big dogs like Parker and some of the other guys that have more reviews than us, but for a small family-owned company with under 100 employees, I think we're at 6,500 5-star Google reviews right now at 4.9 star rating, with 0 complaints on the BBB and 0 complaints on the ROC.
There you go.
Well, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. We're a family-run company as well.
Beautiful.
Ralph and I are not family, though.
No, not at all.
Thank
So,
God.
So we've been around 50 years.
50 years,
that's
Very cool.
how many trucks do you have? How many technicians do you have?
Yeah, so currently have about 35 techs, got another 15 installers, I guess 8 to 10 office, and then management.
And it's pure, you guys are pure HVAC.
HVAC, plumbing, electrical, wine cellars.
Oh.
Yeah. A
Interesting.
little bit of everything. Yeah. Yep.
Wine cellars. I'm sure there's a story behind that one.
And on many podcasts, they ask that. So long story short, I'll ask you a question. So you answer this for me, and you'll answer it for yourself. If you have a wine cellar, okay, and it's like the size of this room or the size of your like outside, sales area, like think about it, like how big? So 3,000-4,000 bottles of wine.
Right.
What does that home also have?
A lot of drunks living in it.
An AC unit.
Yeah, of course. As AC, yeah.
But if you have 3,000 bottle of wine cellar, do you have money or are you poor?
No, you have money.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
money.
so how many air conditioners, how many water heaters do you have?
Oh, goodness. Probably a ton.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
So those homes are in PV, Scottsdale, Desert Mountain, right? If you have a wine cellar that big, especially, and you care about your wine and you want to flex that hard when people come over, you have 12 air conditioners, you have 3 tankless water heaters, you have 2 panels, you have all the fun stuff to where it gets us foot in the door to where why would they use the air conditioning company they've been using? If now they have a wine cellar with us, they can call one company for everything, one-stop shop.
Smart.
Yeah.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
You found your little niche there with that.
And now, then you have people like in PV that maybe aren't super wealthy, but they're like, you know what? I want a wine cellar, but I don't want to spend $100,000 on a wine room. We'll do a wine wall. So we'll have Innovative come over, build them a wine wall, air condition it. And you can do a wine wall that'll hold 100 bottles for, 12, 13 grand. But you walk in and that's part of the kitchen. And you see a glass wall with wine in it. And it's a flex when you come over and you're having a party.
Cool.
Yeah, Hardy can tell our owner's going to be content.
Yeah. You're going to have a phone call here.
He has a wine cellar. He has a cigar thing.
It's kind of like confidentiality, but we've done a lot of hotels. We do a lot of golf resorts. When you walk in and they have like the cabinets for the liquor, we've done all those.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Restaurants.
So you're broad spectrum from the basic homeowner living in a 1,200 square foot home to that guy with 12 air conditioning.
That's actually my favorite person to go to.
Is the 1,200 square foot home, right?
70 to 85-year-old lady, widow in a 1,200 square foot home. That's my favorite customer by far. Because I get to treat him like my grandmother, and it's hands down my favorite customer.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask, for the people watching, I mean, what are the most common things that you see that are causing people the pain, that why they have these huge bills? What things are they not doing? What things are happening that maybe they're not aware of?
Yeah.
Where can they make it a better situation for them without spending a ton of money?
Yeah, so a lot of people get the solar, like you said, and then they still have that high bill.
Right.
Yeah.
Two main things. How old's your air conditioner? How many stages does it have?
Right.
How often do you service it? And then last thing, you guys are going to agree, how much insulation you got in your attic?
Sure.
So we do insulation as well.
No, and I agree with you too, because when people call in and they go to me and say, hey, I've had solar for a while, my bills have been low, but they're starting to creep up. The first thing they think that in their head is like, my solar system's not working. So I tell them, like, okay, there's two reasons and only two reasons why your bills would be high. Solar system's not working, or your usage has gone up. Let's look at both. So I take a look at, is the system working? Okay, it is. So if it's not number one, it's got to be the second one. So I notice, hey, your usage has gone up every single, year, especially in the summertime. So to me, AC, I go, how old's your AC unit? It's like 18 years old. Okay, well, then it's probably that. Is your home well insulated? I don't know. Like, okay, this is starting to kind of make sense, But people say, well, I don't change my thermostat. I set it at 76, in the summertime. Like, okay, but as the older your AC gets, if your home is at 76, your AC is trying harder and harder and harder to keep your home at 76 every year, and it's time.
So a little insight for you guys: if you undersize a system, if you undersize it, it's going to run all day long.
Sure.
If you oversize it, it's going to short cycle on, off, on, off, on, off. So you don't want to undersize, you want to oversize. That's why people that actually know what they're doing, like Hobica and some of the big dogs, anytime we sell an HVAC system, we have to do a heat load of the house, a manual J heat load, and make sure that we install the right size system for that house. Now, if you have a really old system and it's 18 years old and sized correctly, it'll run all day long because it never gets the temperature down, because it's not pulling enough humidity out of the house because the compressor is not working at the right, proper BTUs.
Right.
And how do you said, was it heat? How do you right size? How do you know? What are you doing to determine if it's the right size or not?
Because size out the homes, how many BTUs, per square footage.
So you look at square footage, you look at all that stuff. Like the one thing I've noticed in some different homes that I've lived in is like, you'll have one room in the house that's freezing.
Yeah.
And then the other rooms are hot.
It's just balance of ductwork.
So that's all that is.
So usually when the rooms you're talking about, or the house you're talking about, are on a trunk system. So you actually walk into the house and they got a drop ceiling, right? Mm-hmm. And all the bedrooms are cooled off of this metal ductwork that's sitting underneath the insulation. Different from what we have here, or in a newer home, you have flex ductwork in the attic. And that's how you can balance out homes.
Okay.
And then you have zoning, and then we can keep going, baby.
This guy knows stuff.
I was going to say that. My head's spinning right now.
So backtrack a little bit.
I'm trying to write all this down.
Started working for my dad when I was about 12.
Yeah.
Worked every single summer growing up. It was good money. Hated it. Crawling through 160-degree attics, running ductwork, running insulation, doing all the really, really tough stuff, learned my way up. And then when I graduated high school, Dad gives you 3 options. Keep working full-time, military, or get the hell out of my house.
Wow.
3 things, like hardcore, but it's the reason I'm successful. He's very hard on me.
Yeah.
But stayed working. Between the ages of 16 and maybe 25, I probably got fired 6 times.
Yeah.
Just because me and my dad would butt heads.
Oh, okay. By your dad.
It's tough working for your father. But now, especially going into sales and then him stepping away from the business, we're best friends again. So perfect. But yeah, I've done everything. So install all the way growing up. I was a full-time tech for almost 10 years. Tried a little management out, didn't like it. Went into sales and never stopped. Now I'm setting records.
Okay. Oh,
it's a good story. Your dad firing you 5 times.
Not being cocky.
No, go ahead.
Per Service Titan, I'm in the top 1% in the industry.
You're just Arizona though, right?
I'm just Arizona. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So your company is just Arizona.
Correct.
That's all you guys do.
Yes.
And you're top 1% in the country.
In the United States for HVAC, electrical, plumbing sales.
Nice.
Wow. That should tell me that you're dominating this market.
I am, yes.
Okay. Above the big dogs.
Well, no, because they're
national.
Yeah, but like a Parker and Sons is a $600 million company.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They have the people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But none of their sales guys sell more than I do.
Do you ever get people talking to you about solar? Asking you questions about solar?
All the time.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What are they asking? It's just, I'd love to hear that.
Answer what I can, look up what I can.
You don't call Ben?
Refer them to a solar company.
We're the same way. People ask us about AC stuff, and we're like, let me just go on Google real quick because we don't know. Like we're solar experts.
This is Ben's fault. Ben could have hit me up 10, 15 years ago, but he didn't.
Why didn't you?
I wasn't working here 15 years ago.
It doesn't matter. You're not talking to him.
I was working here 10 years ago.
So you only can talk to him if you're working here?
Right. That sounds about right.
That's just ridiculous.
and it wasn't even Ben. It was his mom that reached out.
That's true. My mom.
But his mom. I love it. I love Julie. Love her. But she likes every post on Facebook. She's a big supporter.
Well, she's lives alone. She's retired.
My mom's the same way. Moms are like
Facebook. Yeah. If you go on my mom's Facebook, it's every day.
We'll talk about it at the end of the podcast. But his mom's really involved with my Facebook, always all over it because of my nonprofit, and she loves giving back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will talk about that.
Well, yeah,
I want to touch on that. So if I'm looking to buy an AC, I guess we've kind of talked about this, but I want to really drill into the customers. So when I'm watching this podcast, if I'm looking to buy a new AC unit, I want to change up my house. When I just put solar in my house, I'm trying to make it more energy efficient. Mm-hmm. What are the things I need to look for when I'm buying an AC unit? What are the key things that I should look for? Because I know I'm going to probably talk to different companies and get different quotes, right? Always.
Correct.
What are the key things that I need to look out for?
Cool. Can we take a step back, actually?
Yeah, take a step back.
But before we're actually buying it,
okay.
When should we buy it? When it's like, yeah, it's getting old. Is it time to buy a new one, or should I keep replacing the parts?
So average life of an air conditioner in the United States is 15 to 22 years, average. In Arizona, it's 12 to 15.
So so if your AC is at 15,
if it's over 15 years old, don't put a penny into it.
Okay.
If it's over 12 years old and out of warranty, most air conditioners come with 10 to 12 years warranty, depending on the brand. If you have more than a $2,000 repair in that 12 to 15 year marker, don't do it.
Okay, so it's strictly just basically an age thing. Correct. The older it gets, time to replace it.
Or if you have a really, really big repair.
Does brand matter?
Yeah, it does matter. Yeah, so Trane, Lennox can be your top brands. Mm-hmm. Then you have some of the lower brands like Goodman and Rheem and some other ones.
Okay, so now we can go into
lots of brands.
Now we can go into your question. When it's time to replace it, what do we look for? What do we do?
So if you're in Arizona, you're listening to this podcast, I'll tell you right now, get 4 quotes. Make one of them Hobica. I guarantee will be different than anybody else. Our process is all about the customer.
So tell me how you're different.
We always do a heat load. We always go around to every single room. We always go in the attic. We always go on the roof. We always do a whole home walkabout. The people cut corners. Like I'll go to a home and I'll be like, hey Ben, just making sure we have 2.5 to 3 hours. Are you good? And they're like, I've had 3 quotes. They've all here 30 minutes. I'm like, unfortunately, they just shot you a quote, right? Did they show you 10 pictures, 20 videos, exactly what was going on? Look inside your panel, make sure the electrical, make sure your breakers are sized right for the air conditioner, all this stuff. Like, well, and I'm like, exactly. So if now's not a good time, we can come back, but I do need a couple hours so I can serve you correctly.
Yeah, I feel like we align on that. We get a lot of these calls of people come in and go, I just need a quote for solar. Okay, let me get some information from you. No, just give me a quote. It's like, okay, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing.
12 to 35 grand. What would you like to go with?
Right, exactly.
They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, exactly.
That sounds so familiar.
Right.
You know how many times I've went out to quote a system, good, better, best? And I told the customer, I don't care what you buy. You can buy a single stage system for 11 grand. It doesn't matter to me. Or you can spend $30,000 on dual inverter with zoning everywhere, insulation, new ductwork, whatever you want. We can do whatever you want. But the thing is, make sure it's sized right and actually doing. Yeah. I'll go out to a home. She's gotten 6 quotes from different air conditioning companies, including the one I said, all these big guys. And I go out in the backyard and I'm like, I know that color. 2016. So I'll come in the home and I'll be like, hey, Betty, it's 9 years old. She's like, they all told me it was 14. I'm like, I'm not going to say anyone's lying. I just look at the age. So I have you come outside so I can show you. I'm looking at the right number. And she's like, nope, October of 2016. I'm like, so I'm just showing you. It is what it is. If everything's working okay, I would say we tune it up. While I'm here, let me look at everything for you. Well, I went into the garage. Her water heater was freaking leaking, rusted out on top. And then went in the attic and she had 3 inches of insulation. I left that home with a new water heater, a service agreement, and 10 inches of insulation to brought up to an R38 and cut her electricity bill by about 20%. Got a new water heater, stopped a freaking disaster, insurance claim with like mold and mildew all over her garage and drywall. And then who's she going to call in 4 years when her air conditioner breaks? Is she going to get 4 quotes? Or is she going to call me personally?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what, I mean, we see that a lot in this service industry. Every sales guy out there wants to make a sale. How many times do I tell people, no, they shouldn't get solar?
Yeah, we do it all the time.
I take a look at their situation and go, no, don't. Well, I got 3 other quotes from these other companies. Yeah, they just want to make a quick buck off you. I want your referrals and recommendations. I want you to call back, a year or two from now and be happy.
Also, that customer has referred me 4 times since I've been there.
Right.
And I got 4 jobs out of it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you, no, you shouldn't get solar, which is shocking. And I'm sure you'll tell people, no,
Correct.
don't get a new AC unit.
Will you make a recommendation? Like, so you're looking at all the different kinds of, you've got good, better, and best, let's just say. Will you ever say, if I were you, or this is what I would do?
I wait for them to ask me because I don't want to come off salesy. It's good, better, best. What do you think is best for you and your family?
Yeah.
And they'll go over like, well, I want to accomplish this. Okay, well, this would do that the best, but you can go wherever you want. A lot of people will be like, Andy, I don't know, like, what's my savings? What's my payoff going to be?
Right.
When those people get down to it, they don't have that comfort issue. They just want to replace because of the age. I look at them and say, tell me this, your system right now, how it works. Let's say it was 8 years ago. How was it working then? Was it cooling the house great and you had no problems with it? They're like, yeah. Like, to be honest, 8 years ago, it was working great. Wonderful. You want basic single stage. You don't have any comfort issues. There's no benefit of going with that variable speed system unless you have a higher bill. Like some of these people, man, like they have a big house, but for some reason it's just sealed, encapsulated home, and they have solar and their bill's $40. I'm not going to cut it down to 20 with freaking a variable.
Right.
Like it just won't happen.
Right.
What kind of, this is probably too broad of a question. I was going to say, what kind of a percentage of a bill drop do you think you can see on the average system? That's tough because
I got
it depends on what they have.
Single stage for single stage, 5 to 10%. The problem is like you say 10 and then the rates go up and then they're even.
Right.
I saved the money. If the rate didn't go up, you would have saved money, but like it stayed the same. I'm like, how much did your bill go up? Like, I saved you a lot of money, but the bill went up. It's not my fault, kind of thing.
Right.
And then when you go to 2 stage, it's about 15 to 25% on the max. And then variable stage is 20 to 50.
Yeah.
20 to 50.
Correct.
Variable stage.
So I've proved it at my house, my old house especially. A new house, it's a newer build, the custom build that I built. But my other one at 67 in Happy Valley, about 3,800 square foot, 2 4-ton systems. Had 2 single-stage 4-ton systems on the house when I bought it in 2018, right? Still in the home I rented out. Those people got a badass rental because at the end of the day, it wasn't supposed to be a rental. It was supposed to be my forever home, and I ended up wanting something else. But moving to that home, put my first summer and a half there. So that year and then half of the next year, my bill was like $650. I like it really, really cold and didn't have solar on it, right? Came in, put 2 variable speed systems on it, cut it down to $219.
Wow.
That's what it does. Single stage versus variable. I don't care how big your house is. My house didn't need that much cooling. It needed that much cooling at 118 degrees.
Sure.
It did not need that much cooling when it was 90 outside and I wanted my house to be 70 degrees.
Yeah. So, listeners, customers of ours, when you're listening to this, when I'm talking to you and they say things like, oh, well, I don't really run the TV a whole lot, or I switched to LED bulbs and, I'm not seeing a huge difference. I'm telling you, your AC unit is making a huge chunk of your bill. It's not, sure, LED lights and all that stuff is great and fantastic, but let's address the bigger issue, AC.
And I'm glad we're bringing this up because it just like light bulb went off. Not talking bad about windows. If your windows are from the 40s, you should probably get new windows.
Sure.
The problem is, though, if someone has dual pane windows, but they're old dual pane like 15 years ago, someone comes out and quotes some new dual pane windows for like 85 grand for their house.
Yeah.
That payoff is like 25 years.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Their bill cuts by like 6% and they're like, I got all new windows. Like I spent 80 grand on it. Why did my bill only go down this much? I'm like, your air conditioner's 19 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Let's address the bigger culprit.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so true. Oh my gosh.
I always tell people the larger the device and the longer it runs, that's the reason for your bill. So think about that. AC unit, pool pump, water heater, those are all big devices that run for long periods of time. That's what makes up your huge bill, not a tiny
and I got a little plug for you guys because we do it, but go home and if you don't have a surge protector on your air conditioning system, make sure you have one on the whole home because we both know that per code now, if you change out the panel, you have to do a whole home surge protector. And we do those as well.
How would they know if they have one or not? What are they looking for?
Go outside and see if there's something mounted underneath the disconnect next to the air conditioner.
Okay.
If they don't, go over to your panel and see if there's one right there.
Okay.
Open up your panel, see if there's a breaker that's labeled a whole home surge protector.
Okay. I'm going to go back to the variables because now you got me on that. That's very interesting to me because I have a 2-stage. Just talked about that. So what kind of money would someone expect to spend on a variable versus the other one? So I'm just kind of curious. I know it's a hard question, but general ranges.
I got it right now. I got it in my head.
Sure.
So when you got like a Lennox or a Train, prices just doubled again because of these damn tariffs. But because of the tariffs, average air conditioner, variable speed, 25, 26 grand. But we do sell a lot of different brands, especially with heat pumps. So if you don't have gas heating and you have an all heat pump, Lennox also makes a brand called AC Pro. It's like the American standard of a Trane.
Mhm.
They have a more, I guess, price-friendly variable stage system. Instead of 150 stages, it's more like 25 stages. But that system's probably 18, 19 grand, but still cut your electricity bill substantially.
Would you do that, or would you say, you know what, if I'm going to spend 18 to 20, I might as well spend 25 on a Trane?
Depends on how long you live in the home.
How long you're going to live in the home?
If you're going to live in the home to 10 to 15 years, get the best.
Get the best,
If you're going to live in the home 5 to 8, it'll still be worth buying the basic one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, got that. Let me ask you this now. A lot of people are out there trying to really push these, you know, fancy looking, a million things they can do as far as the in the house, you know, where the
Thermostat.
the
Smart
thermostats,
thermostats,
sorry,
yeah.
the smart thermostats. Value in that? If so, I'm just curious because a lot of people say, oh, there's a ton of value in that. You can do this, this, this. Some people old school, like, I don't want nothing to do with that. They're garbage. They make no sense. I just want your opinion.
Well, with
on it.
savings and with solar, yeah, you need something with a program on it.
I just want you to kind of
Mhm.
explain that.
Yeah,
So-
like you have wake, leave, return, sleep. You can set different settings. If you're going to be at work all day, if you have a variable speed inverter system, leave it alone. Like if you like it at 76, leave it there all day long because that system's going to ramp down and run here all day long. If you have a single stage system, maybe turn it to 85 when you're going to work.
Okay. Good to know.
And I would
Okay.
highly recommend against supercooling your home like a lot of these people say.
I was going to talk about that
Talk
actually.
about it.
Stay
interesting.
the hell away from
We need to talk
Well,
about that because that's something that solar industry actually dictates that you should do.
What's the difference between, and I think I probably know the answer to this, obviously, pre-cooling and supercooling?
Well, supercooling would be to run it all day long, right?
Right.
If you have a single stage system, that's horrible. Variable stage system is really good.
Yeah.
So supercooling with a variable stage system is great. Pre-cooling, right? That's what you
Yeah,
said?
pre-cooling, yeah.
Pre-cooling, or supercooling, you could use both. Is if you have a single stage system, and they're saying basically at the lower times, like when electricity is cheaper, run it as cold as you want it.
Yeah.
You're going to kill your freaking system that way.
Yeah, supercooling is usually where the people put their AC down like to 65 degrees during the off-peak times, and then it's
Exactly.
completely dead during on-peak. Pre-cooling's more of like, I'm going to drop it down a couple degrees, and
The
then
the
off-peak,
problem
like,
is where your
not a big
electricity is when the system's turning on.
Yeah.
So on, off, on, off.
Mhm.
You go to 65, it's going to turn on and off like 60 times in the next hour. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You want a more efficient system like a variable stage system so it turns on and it just ramps down. It's like cruise control on the freeway. You're going down. So I'll tell people, where do you get better gas mileage? A car that has one speed, like on and off, like let's say a 2001 Chevy Silverado. From here, where we're at right now, to let's say 303 in Bell. So it's a decent
Yeah.
amount. Street light to street light to street light. Or a Toyota Prius right now, all the way to Vegas. Who's going to get better gas mileage?
Prius
Yeah.
to Vegas.
It's
It's
10 times.
continual,
It's
yeah.
10 times as
Yeah.
long though. The distance 10 times.
Sure. But it never, yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's variable.
Yeah.
That's an inverter system.
Why does anybody have a single stage anymore?
Well, I don't know. Well,
Price.
choice, when people move into a
People
home.
have a 500 credit score. They can't apply for financing, and they have $8,000 to their name, and they need to put the rest on a credit card. Like I'm going to try to help them out, get the cheapest thing possible.
How about like a 2-story house? So I see I see both, right? 2-story houses that have 2 units, one for each story,
Mhm.
or they have 1 unit that cools the whole thing.
Correct.
Does just depend on what the unit is. Like mine has 1. That
You have a
train.
2-story home?
I have a 2-story home. That train does the whole
You have
house.
zoning?
Don't even know what
How
it.
many thermostats do you have?
1.
Yeah, you just have a regular system. That's kind of crappy.
Yeah. And my mom's home, 2-story, 2 AC units, 1 thermostat, which I think is weird. 1 thermostat. for
2
the-
AC units.
2 AC units, 2-story, 1 thermostat.
That's weird.
Not possible.
You can go to her house. She's got 1 thermostat upstairs
And it
Okay.
runs both units.
that runs both units, controls the whole home.
Wait, how old's the home?
I think it was built in probably the 90s. I can get her on the phone right now and
Not during the podcast.
So like on some of the really
I
old
don't-
homes,
I don't
like
understand
in
it
the 50s
either.
and 60s,
I don't
they'd
understand.
have like 2 4-tons outside
Mhm.
tied into one big air handler and with 1 thermostat. But I don't know what's going on there because I've
It's-
never seen it in my life.
Very weird too. She also has only 1 air filter in the whole house
Your mom just
upstairs.
needs to move.
I know it's
She needs
just
to move.
weird.
We've talked about this.
Whereas my house, it's a 1-story, smaller house. I have 5 air filters in my
Good.
house. It's a newer build. It's only a couple years
Yeah.
old. But my mom's house, I always thought was very weird. She has
So
two
more
two AC
filters,
units.
the more returns, the better.
So Miss Walsh, I'm sorry, your house is messed up.
I know.
Just like your son, your house has got issues. We'll have to.
I always think it's weird too. Like outside, she's got a huge AC unit and a smaller AC unit. 2-story home, 1 thermostat.
Doesn't make
I'm
any
I'm
sense.
like, I don't know how this
I think
is.
there's another thermostat he's never seen.
It's probably hiding somewhere.
Where would it be though?
Master bedroom.
Huh?
Master bedroom.
No. I lived in that house. It's in the hallway.
I've never seen what he's talking about, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I always thought it was very weird.
I still don't believe you, but
I'm gonna call my mom.
Yeah.
He's gonna come over your house now.
Okay.
I mean, I would. Go back to my house. Forget that freak house.
All right.
So 1 unit, 1 thermostat, 2 stories.
Bedrooms upstairs,
Bedrooms upstairs.
all of them.
Uh,
Where's the master?
three
Downstairs?
of them upstairs, including the master, and then there's another one downstairs. It's a 3-level.
Yeah. Unfortunately, where's the air handler located?
In the attic.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that works sometimes. It's just because heating rises, so air conditioning from top down.
So it could work.
It does work, yes, but you're gonna have hot spots, and I can't do anything about it on the second and first floor because there's floors above it. So I tell everyone, if you can do anything, buy a single level home with an attic. Don't buy a flat roof, ever.
I'll talk about that. Why not?
Can't get to the ductwork. You have a hot room. I can't do anything for you.
That's like solar.
Except put a mini split on it. It's like, oh, they had to do that, but then you have $7,000 per room. Like it gets expensive.
I know.
So another thing we'll do, we'll go to a home. Someone buys a brand new home, or they buy a home that's used, and the person before them installed a new air conditioner. They're like, crap. It's single stage, but it's brand new. It has warranty. Like, I don't want to replace it yet. I'm like, that's fine. So where's your hot room? And they say, the master bedroom's always hot. I'm like, okay, cool. So what we'll do is we'll take the ductwork off of that room. So the house will just be cooled off the air conditioner, and we'll take load off of it, like 200, 300 square foot for the master bedroom, and we'll put a mini split on the master bedroom. You can keep that mini split as cold as you freaking want it because it's a variable speed system just for the bedroom.
So I was going to add a couple of things you touched on that I want to talk about.
Sure.
So can you redo the duct work, and you can change the way the house is put together, right?
Yeah. And then the R value of the ductwork. So a lot of the older homes have like an R4,
right,
and they need an R8.
So, I mean, that could get expensive too. Like if I wanted to sit there and change the way mine's done and then add a second unit, obviously I could do it, but it's going to cost a lot of money to do something like that.
Depends on what's a lot, right? So like it depends on how cold someone wants it. Some people will come in and they're like, hey, I know it's a brand new unit, but it's not cool in the house, right? Like I need a new unit.
Yeah.
Well, now you're at 15 to 25 grand possibly.
Yeah.
Well, why not just keep your existing system, and we'll put a $6,500 mini split on your bedroom. It's going to freeze you out, and it's going to cost nothing to run.
Yeah.
A mini split variable speed system on your little bedroom, you could run that all year round, and it's going to cost almost nothing.
Yeah. I will say, thank God, my house is freezing, so I guess it's working.
Beautiful.
Now,
Like this room.
Yeah,
This room's
literally
cold.
that one unit keeps my
like
house.
this room.
It's like an ice box in my house.
Yeah.
So I mean, it really works well.
It's like a Tony Robbins seminar. The colder, the better. You stay awake.
Yeah. Exactly. The other thing I was talking about, you keep mentioning mini splits. Like for instance, people that have garages that are hot.
Oh yeah.
So what I did,
We do them all the time.
I like to talk about this because I have I put an off-grid 2K solar system on my house.
Yep.
In the back, and then it ties into a solar mini split. It's a solar electrical mini split. So it works off of the solar, and then I have a 8K of battery in my garage. And so between those two things, it feeds the mini split. I never have to use the grid ever on that mini split.
Nice.
Ever. And then the battery is recharged by solar as well. So that's kind of cool. I love mini splits. My garage went from 1,000,000 degrees to now it's 72 degrees in there. It's unbelievable. So I was wondering, do you do a lot of mini splits in garages?
All the time.
All the time?
So we did a lot of them. Like, let's say, maybe one a week for the longest time. Like it got real popular during COVID. Just during COVID, we did thousands of them.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because everyone turned their garage into a home space, their office, or a gym.
Gym.
I started going crazy, right? So like I go to the gym every day. We didn't even talk about personal life. I'm at the gym 6 to 7 days a week at 4 a.m.
I can't tell.
Like if you can't go to the gym, like I was going crazy.
Right.
So it's just like insane. And everyone's like, hey, I want to get one of those units for the garages. Great. So we come out, and either they had to go and call my boy Tommy at A1 and get a insulated garage door, or we'd have to have a contractor come out and jury rig it and put insulation in the doors, blow in an R38 above the garage, and then put either, depending on how big the garage is, mini split on the garage, and cold as you want it.
He's doing. I called A1. They put an insulated door on, and then I installed the solar mini.
Well,
split,
no one does it better than Tommy Mello.
They're great.
Right?
I like them. They're great.
Yeah.
They're really good. But yeah, then I put that I found a mini split that's solar and electrical, and I was like, that's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And just did it myself, and I was like, this is great.
And then a lot of people call us because they just want to keep the garage cold because of their cars, right? So
Yeah,
they have some nice cars.
Sure.
Like my dad's got, we put a 4-ton dual zone on my dad's garage because he's got 6 classics, in Peoria. And then a lot of people call us because they're like, hey, I don't have that car, but I'm getting solar. And they're saying the battery system in my garage needs to stay cold, so I need to put cooling to it. I'm like, cool, let's do it.
That's really, it doesn't need to.
Yes,
but
yes and no.
it'll work better,
it
right?
doesn't need direct. It can't take direct sunlight.
It can't take direct, yeah.
That's what really hurts it. But it
Will
can
it
take
work
heat.
and last longer if it stays cool?
It will. So like my inverter's in the garage, and so it helps that I keep my garage cooler.
Same.
Some can cool. So like a Tesla makes a liquid cooled inverter, that stays cooler because it's liquid cooled. Their old power walls were liquid cooled. Their new ones are not. So they do need, it's nicer to be cool, but they will work.
Yeah, every electronic device has an optimal temperature.
Sure.
Like even the modules we put on people's homes, optimal temperature is like 85 degrees.
I'll have people come out and have me come out and they're like my solar guy told me I had to have air conditioning in my garage because of this backup. I say, well, I'm not a solar person, so I don't know that. But if he said that and you trust him, I'll air condition in the garage. The best part about this is, let's say he's lying. Let's say maybe he's lying. You're now going to have another room in your garage. Your wife kicks you out of the house. And you go into the garage, man cave, baby. And he goes, Andy, I like the way you're thinking.
That's a smart way to think. I looked at it too as part of it was a gym and all that, but part of it was over my garage is a couple bedrooms. So by keeping it cooler in the summer, now the upstairs bedrooms are cooler.
Huge.
Yeah, so people don't realize that. You let your garage get to 100 and whatever degrees, now the inside of your house suffers from that.
All that heat load's coming up.
Absolutely. So mini splits are just fantastic. They're fantastic. They're amazing. Yeah. And it makes sense. You're saying if you have a dead room or a hot room and you just can't really do much about it, it's a cheap option.
Yeah, if you have a smaller room though, like don't buy a $6,000 mini split. We can correct it with ductwork.
Okay.
Like a lot of rooms, you go into a room and the customer's like, so one of my favorite ones, like, so obviously I'm in sales, but you can do one of two things. I'll tell people, you walk into a home and you can say, hey, Mr. and Miss Homeowner, where are the hot rooms so I can sell you more stuff? What people are saying, like, do you have any uncomfortable rooms? Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Right.
How we do it, and I've coached people to do it, and it's proper. I'm not lying. Come out and say, hey, real quick, take me to the most comfortable room in your house. Take me there. What do you like doing in this room? Well, I like we watch TV here, we play board games in here, we do all this stuff. I'm like, because it's the most comfortable room. They're like, yeah, I don't want to be hot while we're, having family time. I'm like, great. Are there any other rooms in the house that you'd like to do these activities that maybe you don't because they're not as cold as this room? And they're like, yeah, let me take you to them. Take me to 2 rooms. I'm like, okay. So one of them's your bedroom. They're like, yeah, it just doesn't cool well. I'm like, so you're telling me that if I was able to cool this room off as good as that other room, like your family room, you maybe do more activities here and maybe your wife would be happy with you? Oh, dude, it'd be taking so much stress off my shoulders. Okay, cool. So no matter what, whether we replace your system or not, we're going to make this room comfortable. As we agree? And they're like, yeah. And then you make that room comfortable. And I'll tell you how, but without a mini split. You go down, we're sitting down, we're going over the sales process, and they're like, well, this guy's $1,000 less than you. I'm like, okay, real quick, I just want to go over apples to apples. He's making that room more comfortable, and he's doing this and this and this. And they're like, well, no. And I'm like, oh, well, I can match his quote. Let's take all that out. No, I need that. Okay, cool. Well, you told me you needed it. So how you do it is a master bedroom. Usually it's hot because you have kids at home, and they want to close the door at nighttime.
Right.
What do you do when you close the door? You kill the return air. The return air is now underneath the door because there's no return in the bedroom. He has one, I have one, but mainly you don't, to where if you don't have a master bedroom return, now the return becomes underneath the door to actually exit to the filter.
Yeah.
How an air conditioner works is it has to be sucked through the filter and then air blows across that coil. If the coil's cold from the compressor, cold air into the house. So everything has to go back to that filter. So adding a return to the bedroom might cost $800, will solve your problem.
Huh.
Easy fix. Wow.
But if you have a tri-level home, you're screwed. So flat house is the same way. Flat roof.
Yeah.
You can't get into the ductwork. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, flat roofs are tough for us too because we can't look at the structural, so it makes it really hard to put panels over it.
We do it, but it's just harder.
We do it, but it is a different process.
And then people, like they'll buy these flips, like, it's a pig with lipstick. They're like, oh my God, it's a flat roof, but I have 10-foot ceilings. Where'd the ductbwork go? They put it on the roof and then they foam it in.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen those.
Horrible airflow to every room. I'm like, no.
No. That's terrible.
I know.
Yeah, I've always seen those,
But a homeowner doesn't know.
The
They're
ductwork
not on the roof.
The ductwork on the outside, I always think, like, isn't that just going to get hot in the summertime?
You think?
You got all that cold air running,
really
and then the sun
idea.
beating down on it.
Well, it's the same as older homes. So if you buy a 30-year-old home and it's a newer air conditioner, you probably don't have enough insulation unless they blew it in. They usually don't. On top of your ductwork's probably like an R2 or R3 R value. So if the air is coming out of the system at 40 degrees, by the time it makes it through your 160-degree attic to that room, it's raising by 30, 40 degrees.
Yeah.
If your ductwork was insulated properly and you had the right amount of insulation, it comes out at 40, it goes in at 40. It's crazy.
Might as well just have glass ductwork on the ceiling, on the roof.
Do you guys, I know one of the things that I did when I moved into my house was I had all my ducts cleaned. I mean, because it was amazing.
So the only thing we don't do is duct cleaning, but hey, I'll give it a plug. My boy Shane owns Dirty Ducts. DIRTIDUCTS, Dirty Ducts, and they do all of ours. So that's the one thing that we sub out that we don't actually do, but Dirty Ducts is amazing. We probably give them 20 homes a week.
Okay, so you absolutely recommend
Oh, yeah.
it. How often?
I include it on every sale.
How often would you do it?
Twice a year.
Yeah, I agree.
Twice a year?
In Arizona.
Arizona is so
pretty
dusty.
dusty.
So when you get your ducts clean, cost $400 or $600. When you get it done, you come home afterwards.
Yeah, I
Holy
agree.
crap.
Yeah.
And then you can take it a step further and you can have hospital grade filtration in your house like I do. So you have a 4 to 6 inch filter right before it hits the coil. And then you put, UV light on it with a catalyst and you have nothing in the air.
So that's what I was asking about next.
Yeah, filter takes care of all the dust, all the big particles. And then UV and catalyst takes care of everything you can't see.
Right.
And then our system, the Pure Air X, so Pure Air and then X at the end, you can't buy it online. You have to buy it from a contractor because it has to be done right, installed in the air conditioning system. As long as the system's running, it's actually the one system that was proven to kill COVID. So it kills the flu, kills anything in the air that you can't see. And the UV light actually kills COVID. It's because during COVID, it couldn't spread outside. It was because of the sun. UV light.
What does a system like that cost?
PRX is like $1,500.
Really? That's it?
Yep. And every 3 years, you got to replace a bulb.
It's not bad.
Oh, you'll be coming to my house.
Yeah, right.
Really, that's all it is. I thought it would be much more than that. So
and then if you wanted to run, you just have to, if you're not using air conditioning, just turn the fan in the on position. And then if you have a variable speed system, your fan will ramp down to about 10%. You could run it all year round and it's going to cost you, without solar, it's going to cost you $30.
I bet your house smells like nothing. You light a candle and there's just no scent.
No.
So
You have a level on the PRX, you have a level 1 to 5.
Yeah.
If you go to 5 like me, you smell that like ozone smell.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I like it. My house smells like a rainforest.
So I've been since probably the 90s. I don't know if you remember they used to have those boxes, the ozone boxes. I can't remember the name of the company, but I still have one today that I use.
There was lots of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was an original one that I can't remember, but I use those as well. Those things are great.
Yeah.
But
So it's that on your whole home.
Okay.
I'd like to do that. We're going to talk about it because I think that works. That stuff's amazing.
It does work.
You're right. It does.
I wouldn't own it if it didn't.
I like the ozone smell and stuff.
And then if we come out with something new, I'll always put it in my house because I'm not going to sell something I'm not willing to buy
You're
myself.
going to try it first.
Yeah.
Nice.
People are like, oh my God, $25,000 a system. I'm like, I have 3 of them. I'm like, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
I didn't pay 25 grand per system, but
Right.
I also didn't get your 10-year warranty you're about to get.
I can't stand all the dust and stuff in the air. It's just
Oh my God.
it's terrible.
Mhm.
I have a studio at home that's got black tables and it's like they're just covered every
Every day,
if I don't clean them.
My black
If I don't,
stovetop every
my wife
morning.
doesn't clean them.
And the best thing about Hobica
Yeah,
is
Ralph
we
doesn't
have a lot of free coupons that we give to anybody. So you can get a free whole home evaluation on your water, your plumbing. You get it done on electrical. You can get it done on your air duct work. You can get a hot room evaluation for free. We'll come out and make sure
Nice.
with a hot room.
Do you guys do the water heaters? The duct is it the
Tankless?
tankless? I always do that. The tankless.
If you don't own
water heaters.
tankless, you're missing out. Unless you're 100 years old and you and your wife live in Sun City with no kids in the home, like you need tankless.
Boy, you hear that?
Wow. You come home from work and your wife and 2 kids have taken showers and you come home to no hot water. Well, tankless, unlimited hot water, and
Yeah.
very, very efficient.
So you like those? I've heard positive and negative about tankless.
What negative?
I've heard people
It's
say
expensive.
that.
That's it.
Well, I've heard the expensive. It is.
Yeah.
What's it
Yeah.
cost?
So a standard water heater, right? You go to Home Depot and you're gonna buy a water heater for $1,000.
Sure.
It's a residential water heater, plastic drains, and
Right.
you're not installing it.
Right.
So for a standard water heater at full price, going to be about $2,500 to $3,000 installed by a good company like us. Tankless is going to be about 7 to 9.
That's not that much.
But it also has a
Okay.
20 to 30 year shelf life. When a normal water heater in Arizona should be replaced every 10 years.
Okay, well that's about equal then.
Yeah.
If you think
But-
about it.
but
Well,
you
three
Paying
grand.
for it, but paying for it up front.
Right.
Especially if you're going to be in the home for 4 years.
$3,000 for 10 years.
Yep.
You can replace it twice. There's
Correct.
$6,000. So
But people don't
tankless.
replace it in 10 years. They let it go 14,
Sure.
and then it explodes, and they have to call their remediation company. And
What's yours? What's yours
I know.
at?
Mine's like about 13 years old.
dude, I already got him. We're going to go over and clean his
but it looks
ductwork,
good.
add insulation, PRX, and water
Here,
heater.
X, there you go.
My water heater looks nice.
This podcast was well worth
There
it.
you go.
Yeah, he's making money on the podcast.
I'll give. He lives in Peoria. I'll give him your address here in a little bit.
Yeah, perfect.
Actually, I would like you to come on. Yeah, so I've been looking at them and I've been reading a lot about them and I think they make a lot of sense.
Well, they do.
Yeah.
And my wife's always complaining at 7 o'clock that we don't have hot water.
And then the only thing we haven't talked about, and you guys started it, so I have to bring it up.
I had.
Purification. So
Okay.
you have drinking water, you have like RO.
Mhm.
I have the high alkaline underneath my sink. So
So
that
do I.
$14 bottle of water you buy at the store, I have it at my sink. And then as well, if you don't have a softener in Arizona, you're really screwing up.
Yeah.
We have the 3rd hardest state in the country, and our water is really hard. So every home that we come out to, we offer them, hey, would you like me to test your water for free? Test it and show them their hardness. And show them, you see all the calcification? This
Yeah.
is what's going on. Drain the water heater, see all this crap? This is hard water.
Is your softener any different than anything else? I mean, I have a softener in my house. I was there when I got it. So
Yeah,
it's
if
just a
it
basic
works.
solder. Yeah, it seems to work.
Mhm.
When I put salt in it, everything's great. When I
Right.
don't, it's bad.
How many people don't have softeners? It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's becoming more and more common though, because people are starting to realize
you have to have
when they're buying a home, like exactly, I have to have it. It's starting to be like common as an AC unit, like.
But also, all new homes come with a loop. If you don't have a loop and you got to install the loop, it gets very expensive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So just the loop alone could be like $6,000, and then you got to buy the softener.
Now, and I do have the alkaline machine, so I've had that for 10 years now.
It's amazing.
I won't touch anything but alkaline water. So I mean, you have to. I've been telling you
won't
for years.
You won't touch anything.
You know that when I drink this stuff, it actually gives me a stomachache compared to drinking alkaline water.
This does, yes, agreed. But it's all you gave me, so
it's all we have. We don't have alkaline here. But yeah, I mean, I drink either 8.59 or 9.5, right? But yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that's really important. Get one in your house.
All right,
just do it. All right, so this podcast is costing me a lot of money, and I like that. But you know what? You came in today and you gave us
goodie bags.
A goodie bag. Look at that. No one ever gives us goodie bags.
I know.
How come?
We should make it standard now.
It's the first time you've had Andy Hobica here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. There's some cool
What's in that goodie bag there, Ralph?
Well, there's a voltage tester.
Nice.
Which is kind of nice. I've used that before.
The best part is my last name's on everything.
I was going to say, you're all over the place here. Water leakage alarm. I might need that for my water heater.
So I gave you guys each 3 of those. Basically, you want to unscrew it. Batteries included. Install the battery. Screw it back in. Put it underneath your sink. If you ever have a water leak, it'll go off like a fire alarm.
Okay.
I got a wine thermometer.
Wine bottle thermometer.
There you go. We talked about the wine cellars.
I'm going to drink tonight.
Yeah.
A digital thermometer.
Meat thermometer.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think I'm grilling something tonight, so I'm going to definitely use that.
This is really nice. Thank you very much for this.
Yeah. You're most welcome.
I really appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
I mean, was it worth the money I'm going to spend with you? Probably not, but I appreciate it.
So I'll be honest. We get it all. We get it all made in bulk from our friends across seas.
Yeah.
And when you buy 10,000 meat thermometers,
they're pretty cheap.
Come out to 12 cents a piece.
Yeah.
Well, now they're 40 cents.
Yeah, all right.
Tariffs. I have plenty.
Yeah. So one last thing is I know that you have a nonprofit that you work with or that you have. So talk about that.
Yeah. So I founded it about, I would say 12 years ago. Been a 501c3 but for about 8 and been a QCO for a year. So QCO, a qualifying charitable organization. Yeah. So actually like a Catholic school. So when you're about to do your taxes, I think it's per couple last year. It was like $436. Couple $938, single $436. Friends, family, give me that money. You're going to get it back in your refund. So it's a dollar for dollar match.
Right.
And I was able to get a lot of money last year. So now blowing up to where I'm actual QCO. It took a long time to get there. But it started about 12, 13 years ago. And once a month we go downtown feeding. So we feed and help out the homeless. But basically they stand in line and we have one next weekend actually on the 27th. But we have one once a month, usually at the end of the month on a Sunday, because when it gets hot, I work 6 days a week. So at the end of the day, Sundays, we get off unless I'm working, but I'll have it. We'll get down there, 6, 7, 8, 9 a.m., depending on how hot it is outside, probably 7, 8 next weekend. Get out there and basically 1,500, 2,000 homeless people will line up at 12th Avenue in Jefferson, and they'll go through our tent system. Basically, we have water, non-perishable food items, 5 or 6, toiletries. So we get same thing, Alibaba.
Yeah.
Little mini shampoos with one bag at a time on it. Shampoo, conditioner, razors, shaving cream, deodorants, baby wipes. We have individual baby wipes. It's a shower in a box for a homeless person. Right. And then we partner with a company, another nonprofit called Dog Days Out Arizona, and they set up right next to us. And if you're a homeless person with a dog, they'll give harnesses, leashes, little footies for the dogs, treats. And that's Monique who runs that, a good friend of ours. We talked to her today, but yeah, actually look up online. So Instagram, Facebook, One Bag at a Time on Facebook, One Bag at a Time AZ on Instagram. And then as well, Dogs Day Out Arizona on social media. They're huge. It's awesome for the dogs.
That's awesome. We should.
Do you take donations for items to hand out?
Yeah, take donations. Yeah. Obviously, if someone just wants to donate cash, it's great. It's all 100% tax deductible because it is actual 501c3 QCO. But this is what I tell people, like, Andy, I want to donate some money. Before you donate money or before you judge and say that I'm doing it for fame or whatever, come to an event. Just come, see it. I guarantee it'll make your day, it'll make your month, and make you a better person. Right. And then a little shout out for salespeople. If you want to make more money and you're in sales or you're in a high level, job, come and give back, see what it does for your month.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes me a better person every single day. And then customers are like, hey, your website, I heard about that One Bag at a Time thing. What is it? Talk about it for an hour. Like, I get very genuine and emotional about it because I love doing it.
Right. I think that is so cool. We need to take information on that because I know Harmon's always looking to do some stuff. And
we've done a lot of company programs. So you get the company involved. Each of the employees all buy stuff. We'll come and pack bags and then go distribute. We do it all the time.
I think we'd be interested in maybe having that conversation. So I'll get the information from you. That's really cool.
I like it.
I like it too. How about, so if somebody wants to reach out to your business, they want to learn, AC, water heaters, insulation, whatever it is, how could they find you guys?
HOBAICA.com. Really easy to schedule online. 602-995-0387. And then personally, if anyone interested in anything about me, they want to talk about me, they want to talk about sales, anything like that, fun stuff, just add me on social media. Andy Hobaika, only one in the United States.
You do some sales training and stuff too, right?
Yeah,
so, okay.
HOBAICA. And the benefit for me, any conference I go to, I don't even need a QR code. I literally just tell them, well, I'm the only Andy Hobaika on social media.
I'm the only Ben Wojchlager on social media.
Wow, you have something in common.
Crazy. Ralph Romano with your common name.
There's a ton of us. If you look up Ralph Romano on social media, you'll find a guy that was a murderer on New York.
70 different people.
Yeah, there was a mob guy that was murdering people. So, not related.
Okay,
not related.
Are you
not
the same
related.
guy? Are you the same guy?
No.
Running from the law.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, this was fun. This was good.
It was. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for coming.
And thanks for having me.
Oh, we appreciate it. And so, Ben, what's next?
What is next? I'm sure we got a lot coming up. I was actually, I'll tell you this right now. I was talking with the Glendale Fire Department today about fire code setbacks and have they ever encountered a home or business that had solar where there was a fire? What do you do? What's the safety? And it's very different. So
that'd be interesting.
We might be having them as a guest.
Okay, and I know we're going to probably do something on SRP soon too. We have to kind of get into that.
Nice.
And changes that are coming there that are going to impact going solar. So for the next 3 years, especially. So we'll get into that as well. So again, hey, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
That's what I do.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Harmon Solar Podcast with Ben and Ralph, bringing clarity to the intersection of solar power and smart home ownership. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share the show with others navigating the solar journey. For questions and topic suggestions, call 800-281-3189 or visit harmonsolar.com. You can also connect with the team on social media. See you next episode.